Hello, welcome to week 2 and clue 2 of the Trigpoint Shawl Mystery Knit Along. I hope you're enjoying clue 1 so far. Remember that you don't have to do both sides of the shawl at once. You could knit one side just now, so I don't want you to worry too much about trying to keep up by doing both sides at once. I designed the shawl so that you could just do half during the knit along. And also remember to fill in your Knit Motivate sheet. You can colour in the little Trigpoint logo here. So there are 8 little sections. So there's one section for each little, each kind of half, and sort of like a quarter for each clue. So I hope you're finding that and all the tick boxes that are included in the pattern useful. This video is not as long as last week. It shows the first couple of rows of clue 2. So it does show a bit of a spoiler, but it's only the very beginning of the clue, and you might find it useful if you have already looked at the pattern and you're wondering about working the slipped stitches. So I hope you find it useful, and I'll see you next time for clue 3. I've just worked row 1.1 with my yarn A, which is this chocolate brown colour, and I'm going to slide my stitches along the needle, ready to work the next right side row, which is row 1.2, with my yarn B, which is my speckled yarn. So I'm going to knit the first 3 stitches, and then this is mostly a purl row with some slip stitches. So I'm purling 1, and then I'm going to slip the next stitch with my yarn in the back. So I bring it between the needles to the back, slip the next stitch as if I was going to purl it, so purlwise, bring the yarn back to the front, and then I need to purl 4. And then I'm slipping 1 again, so yarn to the back, slip 1 stitch, bring your yarn back to the front, and then purl 4. So yarn to the back, slip 1, yarn to the front, and I do that until I'm just about at the end of the row. I've got to the last 5 stitches now, and I need to slip this one with the yarn in the back, purl the next one, and then I'm going to slip the 3 I-cord stitches with my yarn in the back. And I don't know if you noticed, but the stitch that comes before the I-cord edge does tend to get a little bit loose, so you can just pull that to tighten it up slightly. Okay, so I've done both of my right side rows with my 2 yarns, and I'm going to turn to work the wrong side row. So I will work first of all with A, which is just a purling along to the end. I've just worked row 2.1 with my yarn A, the chocolate brown, and so I'm going to slide my work back along my needles so I can do my wrong side row with my yarn B, which is my speckled yarn. So I have to slip some stitches on the wrong side. Okay, now when the pattern gets established and you're working on the right side row, it will be easy to see the slip stitches. Okay, but when you're on the wrong side, it can be a little bit more difficult to see where they are, but I'll show you a little trick. So here, this becomes clearer the more rows you work, but you can see that the stitches are on the needle, and then underneath them they've got like a little sort of necklace on them. Okay, now some of them, the necklace is in my yarn B, it's much paler, and some of them the little necklace is in yarn A, so this one here and this one here, and those are the stitches that I'm going to slip on the wrong side row. So if you keep an eye out for those when you work the wrong side row with your yarn B, then it will make it a bit easier for you you won't have to be counting quite so much. And as I say, once you get established with clue 2, you'll get into a rhythm and you'll be able to spot those much more easily on the wrong side. Okay, so I'm going to work row 2.2 with my yarn bead, so I need to purl my 3 I-code stitches, and then I'm going to be knitting this row, mostly knitting and slipping stitches. So knit 1, and then the slip stitches on this side are slipped with the yarn in the front, so bring it to the front through the needles and slip 1 purlwise, and then put the yarn back between the needles, and then I'm knitting 4, and then slip the next stitch with the yarn in front and knit 4. Now when you are slipping the stitches with the yarn in front, what that means is that when you look on the right side of your work, you will have stitches, slip stitches, which are clear to see. They don't have a little bar of yarn going across them. So you just keep repeating that until you get near to the end of that row. So I'll let you get on with the rest of clue 2, and I'll see you again for clue 3.